Hello, everyone, and welcome to Norm, the Cheers podcast. That isn't. It is great to be here. We are celebrating yet another year of Dave. Happy birthday, Dave.
Thank you, America. Thank you, huge slice of America that's invested in this endeavor.
I just found out apparently my mom found this, so I am racking my brain trying to figure out, I'm sure I said something she's going to get mad at me for, but I'm trying to figure out specifically what, so I'm ready to rebut.
I will spend the rest of my birthday frantically scrubbing any possible questionable comments you've ever made.
If you could do that, that would be huge. That would
Absolutely.
be really appreciated. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yep. So are you doing something fun for your birthday?
I am apparently getting taken out my one birthday. Currently, my daughter, who is off from school this week, is in the kitchen frantically making me a carrot cake. And I am apparently being taken out for my one request, which was a cheeseburger and a draft beer tonight.
Very nice. Where are you procuring these libations and burgers?
TBD, but very likely Bayberry Beer Garden, a wonderful little restaurant in Providence.
Nice.
Happy to shout them out to our vast throng of listeners.
Another sponsor. Getting to the point where we're going to have to start putting together an LLC to handle all these sponsors.
Yeah, friends, we're hiring. It's probably about a 20-hour-a-week position at this point, but submit your resumes to Mike.
Get in there. We offer a comprehensive benefit package. Comprehensive. Dave will tell you your hair looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Tookie will give you fashion advice. And I will commiserate. And we've got all of that listed with our crack HR department, which is Dave's daughter.
Oh, I thought that was Dewey, but yes.
Dewey's an intern.
You're right.
Dewey's provisional.
Dewey's still unpacking a lot of baggage.
Yep. Dave's birthday is one day after my little boy's birthday. We just finished 2 weeks of Kyle birthday celebrations yesterday.
Nice.
2 weeks.
Well, that was his birthday party for his kids at school that we did. So we did that, and that was really fun. Because lockdown started literally the day before his birthday party 2 years ago. So it's been a weird, if you check out your memories feature on Facebook, been a weird few days, man, of going, man, I don't think I can do this comedy gig tonight, but you know what? Just in a couple of weeks, I'll be back and everything will be back to normal again and we'll have some fun again. And Kyle basically missed out on 2 years of birthday parties. So we kind of did it upright this year. Not that it's safe now, but we've all just kind of accepted this is where we're at. It's been a weird few weeks of everyone just going, look, we're just fucking doing this. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
That's been an interesting shift of the last couple of weeks where suddenly I'm the only guy in a mask in the convenience store anymore.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And people just sort of going la, 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 la. And okay, I guess this is where, and the thing is too, I'm not sure they're wrong. Maybe that's where we're at. We're look, it's Shakespearean times. We're opening up the theaters. Otherwise, we're never going to see a play again. So this is what we're doing, and we're going to push through. Yeah, I mean, with a general society that cannot agree on how to handle it, I don't see another option. So here we are. I'm sorry that went from happy birthday stuff to all right. Well, let's see if we live real quick. Sorry about that.
In its own way, it feels almost as unsettled as some of those times, right after things started to close down. It's but in a, I don't want to say hopeful. It doesn't feel, but it does have this sort of fun sort of Berlin in the 30s, devil may care, wee kind of energy.
Very nice. Very nice. Tookie, how was your week?
Oh man, 'twas a week. I had a show pretty much every night.
Yeah, you're busy.
14 shows in 12 days or something like that.
Wow.
Something insane. It's like insane. It's like a touring schedule
Yeah.
in my own city. I'm tired.
Mm. But you know, a touring schedule where you get to sleep in your own bed every day, that's kind of the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look at the bright side of it.
definitely.
Yeah. I had a good time, but now I need to come down.
Hmm. Nice. Oh, Dave and I are celebrating Dave's birthday in the most middle-aged American male way possible. We
By
are getting
watching Ford versus Ferrari?
Maybe
Wait. That's on the list. But
it's
we
in
are
the
getting
top 3.
By the way, I totally own Ford versus Ferrari.
Of course you
Do you own the Blu-ray?
Digitally.
Okay,
Digitally.
all right.
Which kind of takes it out of the dad zone a little bit. Like, it would be really great if I had it on DVD. That would be fantastic. But yeah, no, I remember just telling Jen, like, after it came out, it was on sale for $9.99 or something, and she hadn't seen it. And I was like, you'd enjoy this. You've got the heart of a dad. So we totally bought it, and she loved it. She loved it. But no, we are getting a 10-game mini season ticket pass to the Red Sox.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, baseball, baby, it's back.
I was so excited to not have to worry about baseball and like a sucker, I'm back in. And I told Mike, like, you know, we're going to take our kids to some of these games, and Molly's very excited for the prospect yet again of the ability to yell swears in public. That's kind of her favorite part of the whole experience.
I support this.
Molly's got the heart of a 70s wrestling fan.
Really does. You can almost smell cigar smoke on her.
Just wearing a little fedora out.
Yeah, she actually, if you hold a mirror up to her, you see Al Rosen from Cheers.
But yes, I'm very excited for baseball. I was talking to Jen about, like, if we wanted to go ahead and do this. I said, you know what, look, if we get another variant, at least this is an outdoor thing for us to do this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a thing where we'll never be inside for an entire month without getting out and doing something. And I feel like I need that. And she was completely on board, and that's what we are doing. We're getting the poor people's 10 ticket package.
That, I mean, I don't know, the what do you call those? Like the down home seating and packages. That's where the action is. Because my uncle and I, my uncle and I would always go and sit at the $10 ticket seats at the TD Garden to watch Celtics games. That's where the action is.
Mm-hmm. We are going to be right field roof.
Mm.
So if things get too depressing, roof.
I mean, the sheer proximity to sausages keeps the experience from ever being absolutely abysmal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a lot of opportunity to have like a sausage hoagie in my day-to-day life. So the ability, like, if everything goes wrong with the season, to at least like eat 3 of them keeps everything from reaching a real low point.
It's true. It's a great point. It's like one of those places, you can almost never find the specific collection of dietary options that are available in an athletic facility. It's like, all right, you can have astronaut ice cream or clam chowder or sausage. Those are your choice. Like, who else is offering that?
Dave, is Proximity to Sausages the title of your newest memoir?
That's volume 2.
Okay.
That's the unauthorized documentary.
That's the ball 4, if you will.
It's airing on Vice this summer.
I would absolutely watch that.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, Adrian Brody's playing me.
It's the follow-up project to Pam and Tommy.
Which we just finished last week.
Oh, I did too. What'd you think?
Oh man, the 90s nostalgia of it all.
Wow.
Some stuff leapt out at me. I was like, is this more 2000s than 90s? But
it felt very 90s to me.
Yeah. But I think they got, because the whole saga happened kind of at the taint between living in the analog and Y2K.
Yeah. Which was what was really interesting about it, was this was the first moment in history where that could have happened that way.
Mm.
And just looking at the world and looking at how our understanding of how the world worked was changing so dramatically then. Like just that idea of, what's the internet? Wait a minute. I'm watching this thing that you have on your computer in Sweden? How is that possible? That it went from, and just from the time that they stole the tape to the point where it started going out, where they said, no, we could sell this tape on the internet. What's the internet? And then within that time frame, they realized that you could cut out that tape and just watch it on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. And I kind of remember in my head that, like that progression.
My main question though, was Nick Offerman's character a real person? Because I was
Yes.
Okay. Because I was a literal fetus during some of this. And the part that cracked both of us up the most was Nikki Sixx calling Tommy Lee to figure out how to get an internet connection in his house.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
Yeah. But I kind of liked that, like watching these rock stars have that big dad energy of not being able to figure, like, oh, are we old now? Like, because that was a part of that 90s era too, of Motley Crue realizing they weren't Motley Crue anymore. Mm. And Tommy sort of realizing that tape was the only reason he was relevant. And yeah. And the actress who played Pamela Anderson, all the performances are great, but she crushed it. Lily Evans, I think is her name.
She was in Baby Driver and something else.
Yeah, I know it's Lily.
Yeah.
But just killed it. Yeah. And really like made you look at like Pamela's point of view on this in this very unique way, especially the idea of why they sold the rights finally. Because that totally got sold as they were in on it all the time. And then look at it and going, oh no, this is just their best chance at limiting exposure to this. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Lily James, by the way.
Lily James, thank you.
The Jay Leno prosthetics scared me. I did not like that. I also did not need the puppetry. I don't want to elaborate because this is a family show. This is a family show, but there was puppetry and I did not need that.
Jason Mantzoukas was the voice.
Oh, yeah. Trevor recognized it right away.
That's inspired casting.
Oh.
But man, the 2020s have been tough on Jay Leno, deservedly. I feel like as we're going back on, we're in this era of 90s nostalgia. And as we're looking at it, specifically the two things I'm thinking about are this and American Crime Story, going back and looking at the Lewinsky.
Oh,
yeah. Which I should stop calling the Lewinsky scandal because she did, it's the Clinton scandal, where he's the president who talked an intern into doing stuff. Like, she did. Yeah, it's not her.
They did an ACS on it, like OJ?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Oh, yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was the OJ. Yeah. It was the same team. No, it was it was the whole thing on FX.
Because I watched the OJ and I watched the Johnny Versace RIP.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I would fit in his clothes, but RIP, fashion icon.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect casting of Darren.
I believe
Criss.
it's on Hulu.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, check that out. But it's a lot of like, boy, in the middle of everything, when someone can have a really shitty take in joke form about something, Jay Leno knocked it out of the park.
I was listening to the 80s channel on satellite radio a couple days ago, and they played like a little chunk of when Hugh Grant was doing his sort of that weird forgiveness tour post his getting arrested for soliciting a prostitute. And man, Jay Leno, like imagine what a terrible time to be alive when you feel like the only way you can like connect to your public and explain yourself is you have to sit through a 50-minute interview with Jay Leno, who is perhaps one of the 5 worst people in the world to conduct that kind of interview with taste and intelligence. It was so, I was shocked at how clunky and awful and oh, it made me want to like be like that. It's like the Old Testament. Like I wanted to be a better person just so I don't accidentally end up being interviewed by Leno.
Yeah. It's amazing. He was always known for doing bad interviews, but it wasn't just that he was bad at it. It was also that he was tasteless about it. Yeah. Every way that you could do an interview poorly, Leno did it. But one of the things that helped him was all the lascivious people who were watching knew that he was going to say the stuff they were hoping he was going to say. So he was going to do something a little bit creepy with Pam Anderson. He was going to make the jokes that they were hoping he would make. So, yeah, which is how he stayed on the air for so long. He's just like, what do you want to hear? Fine.
The older I get, though, the more I understand why Kevin Eubanks left.
Now, did he have an issue with it? I mean, was there, I thought it was just, they had done the run, because he was there pretty much until they relaunched, right?
Almost.
And then he said, all right, I'm going to go on tour. We're like, we had a good run. I'm done. Yeah. I didn't hear anything about him saying, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm done.
No, but you could just get, where was it? Paul Schaefer and Letterman?
Mm-hmm.
It was spite. It was pure spite that they stuck together that long. With Kevin Eubanks, you could just, this is just, how do I explain the tired black man feeling?
The concessions that people have to make.
I like Dave jumping in and going, "Oh, I know the tired black man feeling." No need to explain, my friend.
I'm reading a wonderful book by Hanif Abdurraqib called "A Little Devil in America," and which is a series of essays about like American black entertainers and trying to survive and thrive artistically in a culture that's tilted against them at all times. And he does an incredible job at sort of there's an essay specifically on Green Book I'm thinking of, and it that absolutely like kind of hits on that energy that you're talking about, Tookie.
Yeah. That energy of like, I'm not happy, but I also need to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that I am better than this, and I'm going to make sure you're aware that I'm better than this, but at the same time, I have to do this.
Yeah. So at Branford Marsalis only did what, a year, 2,
something like that.
What is it, baby? What's the matter?
Oh, it's May.
Yeah, you don't like Jay Leno either, huh? I know. You're okay. Jay Leno's gone.
Mostly.
You're okay. He's just got the car show now. It's okay. All right. Oh, yeah, we do a podcast about Cheers. Hey. Should we talk about Cheers a little bit?
Whatever.
Talk about Cheers a little bit. All right. Season 4, episode 2. We are in the season now. Woody goes belly up. Interesting episode this week. Heidi Perlman episode. There's good. There's not so good. I think more good than bad. Some decent stuff in here. Mm-hmm. We'll get some feedback on it. Dave, what was going on when we had the second episode of season 4 put right into our brains?
This premiered on October 3rd, 1985. On October 2nd, sadly, we lost Rock Hudson to AIDS, the first celebrity that I remember, losing to that disease. And of course, it being such a huge deal. And one more thing that like really throws Reagan's response into stark contrast with the countries where I don't think acknowledged it publicly for quite a while. Despite being a friend of Hudson, and I think reaching out to him privately as he was in hospice. just like a kind of a landmark moment in the culture. I mean, I think one of the things that I remember even taken away from it then was how overwhelmingly kind of supportive the media was, even as people were saying like this is a gay person who lived in the closet for his entire life, and his colleagues saying like, you know, we loved him, and everybody saying like, you know, there was this sort of like national reckoning which happened fairly quickly for the time, where we all said, oh yeah, of course that's okay, because we all know somebody. Like, why? Like, it was all of a sudden a moment where we were like, why are we making people do this? And of course it took, and it's still taking, you know, a lot of time to wrap our heads around that. But I do remember it being like, I remember it happening kind of quickly.
You know, I remember, it's funny, I remember an element of that, but I also remember a lot of misinformation getting spread about AIDS from when Rock Hudson died. There's a lot of like the blonde woman on the show that he guest starred on, I think Linda Evans.
Evangelista maybe, or is it Evans? Yeah, you might.
I think Evans. I think of Evans. So he had done a guest arc, and like they had kissed on the show, and there was a big like on the tabloids like, oh, is Linda Evans safe? Is she in danger? Is it like, yeah? And so there was a lot of Linda Evans is in trouble. Yeah. So there was, which is how things happen. There was a mix of some understanding, some identifying, also some fear mongering. Yeah.
Yeah, and the science. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, question. At what point was the very famous photo or footage of Princess Diana with AIDS patients in a hospital? Like, at what point was that? Was that in the 80s or the early 90s?
I'm going to guess like 89, 88, 89. That to me is like the Ryan White, Elton John kind of window where it seems like there's more of like a public awareness, you know, as we've had like, you know, time to kind of like live with this disease, and as the country gets shown more and more examples of people who, you know, sadly aren't just gay men, but you know,
everyday people.
Not that gay men aren't everyday people, but
but
but Matt, I mean, I remember Magic announcing it, and that was a gigantic cultural shift.
Yeah, that's 91.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that crossover period from the 80s into the 90s was a huge shift in terms of people genuinely understanding this. And there were some weird things about the Magic time. But I think he did far more good than anything else when he announced it. Just in terms of he really did a ton of work on educating people about this is what is safe. You are not in danger. Everyone can hug me. I am learning everything I can about HIV, and I'm going to aggressively fight it. And, you know, I remember thinking like, oh my God, we're not going to have Magic anymore. And now, you know, 30 years later, Magic still looks like the healthiest guy on Countdown. So yeah. But that was a big thing. And I don't want to be hard on Magic. I mean, there was just that when you look back on some of those interviews where so much of it was focused on, you need to know I was only with women, and I was with a lot of women. But it was hard. It was 91, and that was something that was important to him. And there was something important about him making it clear that this was not just a gay man's disease. So there was value in that, but there was also something a little uncomfortable. You go back and watch it now where it's like, you need to know I'm not.
Yeah. The Arsenio Hall interview was a little like, ugh.
Yeah. But it's hard. You know, we're looking at it with 30 years of, and it's funny because in this episode, I had a moment where I thought about that in 85, just in terms of when, you know, Woody. So, I might be jumping ahead, but there's the thing where, you know, a girl is flirting with Woody and Woody's like, no, thank you. And they're talking about how painfully shy he is. Yeah, what is this? And there's never a moment where maybe Woody doesn't like girls, and that's not a bad thing. Like, that is never even considered by anybody. Like, you're only able to consider it with Cliff, and that's because you can make a joke about it. So yeah, I thought about that, about how, and this is 85 and we're talking about 91, but just that cultural shift at that time where it was, you were more accepting, especially in 91, of people being gay, but at the same time, it was too important to make sure that people knew you were not.
Mm-hmm.
That was, to me, that's a cultural touchstone of the late 80s through the 90s. Was before that, it was just not okay to have gay people around, and it was treated like a subculture, and maybe somebody had one family member and you were a saint for still loving them. And then there was a transitional point where, by the way, I get that I'm a straight white guy telling you, like, here's how it happened, but this is my perception of how things move through it, living through it. Then there was a stretch where it was like, all right, this is okay, but it's important that somebody knows I'm not. And then finally, where it started to shift, where it's not any of your business, and whatever I am is okay, and I don't need to announce it to anybody, which is hopefully where we are at, I think. Yeah. Whew. All right.
Yeah.
Last week, Rain Man. This week, this.
It really is a huge. I'd forgotten what a huge. As someone who's maybe seen one Rock Hudson movie in my life, I forgot like kind of what a huge impact this person had, on my life and society at large.
Well, what were you going to say about the science?
Oh yeah, the science was still kind of like, there was still, even in '85, like there was a lot of concern that like saliva was an agent that could spread HIV, and it really wasn't for a couple of years before, or at least another, I think, year after Rock Hudson died, where they said conclusively like kissing is almost certainly safe. And even when they said almost certainly, it was almost certainly.
Yeah. It's funny though. I had a friend of mine, a gay man, and we were talking about Rock Hudson. I was like, but it's still weird that I feel like you don't see his movies on very much anymore. Is it because he's a romantic man and we're just not watching because we don't view him that way because we know he was gay in real life? And my friend said, no, those movies were trash. And I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know if any of that is relevant.
No, it's proof that Rock Hudson benefited from pretty privilege. That's all it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. There was a Rock Hudson movie on at some point, and I was like, oh yeah, this isn't very good. But he made a lot. I mean, it's very possible there's some good movies hiding out there. So if anyone has any Rock Hudson recommendations, let me know.
Send them in.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing about living in LA for a little while, was friends who were kind of entertainment lifers who just said, oh yeah, everybody here knew. Like there was just a group of gay men who were professionally in the closet, but personally like Raymond Burr was professionally in the closet, but lived with his partner for years and years and years, and all of their friends knew, but they never said anything publicly, and their friends just kept that secret for them, and it was understood. And there was just kind of that whole group of people in Hollywood, which kind of makes me admire Hollywood people more than I ever thought I would, where they just said, these are our friends, we love them, and we're not telling anybody. I mean, no one knew a thing about Raymond Burr until he died. That was like how Hollywood kept that secret for 40 years. That's amazing. You don't think Hollywood can keep any secret.
It's a gossipy town.
Yep. All right, Dave, were you finished summing up the world? Sorry.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Tookie, what happened in this week's Cold Open, please?
Well, it was a short and sweet one this week, which I appreciated. So we've got everybody hanging at the bar, and Norm is sitting, and he's just, oh no. And Woody asks, oh, what's wrong, Mr. Peterson? It's my anniversary. I've got nothing for Vera, and all the stores are closed, which also makes me, what the hell are the hours of this bar?
The hours of Cheers make no sense. When you're done with work, let's go get a drink. You're in a bar.
Yeah.
When is this bar closing? Where are you going?
I don't know. I don't know how they're solving
They get in there for breakfast. They're all done by 5. It makes no sense.
It's got like a siesta period. It's wild.
It's very European. It's ours. So Carla says, uh-oh, Normie's in trouble. And Woody said, well, will Mrs. Peterson give you the cold shoulder? And Norm says, it's not the shoulder I mind, it's the hard knee. And Cliff says, well, not to worry. With your quick resourcefulness, you'll come up with some suitable gift. And Norm's like, oh, you're absolutely right. No, I got nothing. Right? Tried, I'm doomed. Right? Carl says, well, I know where you can get I know a gas station where you can, maybe you can get her a can of 40 weight, which I have no idea what that is. That was an 80s moment for me, or just like I don't know moment.
10W40 is a kind of oil. So yeah, 10W40, it tends to be for colder weather, and 10W30, as I recall,
gotcha,
is for the more summery times, or 5W30 even.
I've never heard it referred to as 40 weight.
I believe that's what they're referring to. I could be completely wrong on this.
Yeah, that was an odd one to me. Anywho, so Norm, says, ha ha, very funny. And Woody says, why not give her the best gift of all, Mr. Peterson, a night of romance? To which Norm replies, Carla, where's that gas station at? And he says, well, come on, Norm, you can do better than that. That ashtray is better than that. Norm says, well, ashtray. And so he dumps out the little cigarettes. He's like, it's a little shoddy, but it's a nice pack of new cigarettes, a nice pack of matches. And I think we got something there. So he heads off to get some cigarettes and matches. And Cliff is just, hey, Norm, does Vera even smoke? And Norm says, well, she's been known to smoke occasionally after sex, usually during. And then he exits, roll credits, which I have so many questions about Norm's marriage.
Yeah.
It's stressful to me.
God bless you, Vera. God bless you, Vera, except when you're physically abusing your spouse.
I mean, yeah, this is. It's funny because I feel like Norm and Vera are supposed to like stand in for all marriages, and yet their marriage could not be more singular and specific to whatever their psychological conditions are. Like there's no universality to the Norm and Vera relationship.
None. Although this cold open did get me thinking. I don't smoke, and I don't want to smoke, and I don't want anyone to smoke in my home. But man, I really would love a nice decorative ashtray in the family room.
Really?
Like, there's something about it. I don't smoke, I don't drink. I sent this to Dave and some guys yesterday. I would love a globe bar and a nice smoked glass ashtray, like a big one. You know what I mean? Like the one that's almost like on a riser, so it's elevated. That really ties the room together. You know what I mean? Something on a thick rug. Yeah, but then someone's going to want to smoke. You see an ashtray like that. I'm very torn. I love churches, but I don't like religion. It's a weird thing where I love the accoutrement, but not the main function. Yeah.
Globe bars are classy though, and
Aren't
you can stash more than booze in them.
What am I going to keep in a globe bar that's
Diet Coke?
It's not refrigerated. It's going to be warm.
Oh, you're right.
I have. I forgot to respond to that text yesterday. I have a globe bar that I got from my dad's office.
What?
I have a wooden globe bar and I keep the 4 bottles that are probably like in the decent range, that like are the $50 to $75 bottles that fit in there, and which is nice because I forget about them, and then like I don't consume them as quickly.
Tremendous. What are the 4 things one should keep in a globe bar? Yeah.
I have a bottle of, again, this is something that came from my dad's house when he sold it. There was a bottle of scotch that he had, so that's in there. I've got some decent Irish whiskey in there. I think I've got a good tequila in there. Not a great, but like an okay tequila. And then I think there's some other bottle in there I think that just didn't fit anywhere else. So it might just be some sort of like random, like an Irish cream or something.
I think I'd keep art supplies in a globe bar.
That's good.
That's not bad. Might be like a good thing to like keep Kyle's Nintendo Switch games in, something like that. The storage. It feels wrong to have that and not have any bourbon.
It's important. It's important to make. I think, yeah. Even if you're using it for art supplies, to keep just one bottle of bourbon in there.
It's the principle of the matter.
Something good.
Yeah.
Something quality. That's all. All right. So we've got an A story and a B story. The B story this week is Frasier has run up a bar tab of $500. Okay, so we're talking about the what are the hours of this bar? How does money work in this world? Frasier is a doctor who has not been working for a summer, and now he has to sweep the floor to cover a $500 bar tab at Cheers? What the hell is going on? This is a pet peeve of mine with TV sitcoms where there's no concept of the consistency of money. Where it's like Frasier has been a doctor for at least 10 years, a well-earning psychiatrist. He was just in Italy he got a fellowship to teach at the University of Bologna. What could have happened that a summer later, and he's only been in this bar, it's $500? And now you're screwed? Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's like in Friends where Chandler isn't working for, it was in 85, it was coming down. It was okay.
Okay.
But I remember getting annoyed with Friends over that, where Chandler wasn't working for a couple of months and now they had to borrow money from Joey. And then Chandler was working again for 6 months and now they're buying a house in Scarsdale. What the hell? What the hell? Where'd the money go and where's it coming from? Like, how much do you people think things cost? And what do you think people make? It's very weird. So that was my frustration. I enjoyed having Frasier there, and he had some great lines working in the bar and making sure that Diane saw it. And I'm really loving Hostile Frasier energy. Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of fun, and Heidi Perlman writes hostility very well. So he is in there. And the A story is Woody has a girl back home, Beth, which is why when women flirt with him, he declines. They decide they're going to bring Beth out. They have a meeting that Cliff is not invited to. And they fly Beth out, and she talks about her little butterball, because that's the thing that you say about somebody that you love. Mm-hmm. And so it's very uncomfortable. The weight stuff is really weird. And so they talk about, oh yeah, I lost 50 pounds. Woody lost 80 pounds. Oh my gosh. And then as soon as they're together, they want to start eating again. And Frasier deduces that this is because they do not do the hibbity-bibbity. And so they sublimate it by eating. And Diane says that's poppycock. All you need to do is to retrain your eating skills. They go out together. Woody realizes that Frasier was absolutely correct. They talk about it, realize that they are both feeling it. They go off to make each other happy. And Sam and Diane are left having a kind of a fun scene together, where they are clearly, like, to the point where you kind of wonder, like, why aren't you guys just getting back together? I don't get what's happening here anymore. Where they're talking about how wonderful it was when they made love. And then they start eating everything to sublimate their desire for each other scene.
I did like how
do we feel about this week?
I like that. I respect that this episode came out firmly in favor of Freudian over the work of B.F. Skinner. I don't think I buy it, but I respect it for taking a stance.
Choices were made.
Yep, you got to come down on one side.
Made.
Choices were made.
Choices.
I will say
it's
things
very
that
much
I enjoyed. Woody
time.
understood Woody right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Woody was really good right away. He understood the character. He fit in immediately. And you could see it in the second episode, where it's a Woody-centric episode, and he works beautifully. That was nice to see. I love Frasier sweeping in a three-piece suit. That was very fun. It was interesting. We are retconning Frasier's personal history, as we know from the later series Frasier, which they sort of explain that he was not talking. But yeah, The line, I'll have you know that the Cranes came to this country with nothing but a strong back, the sweat on our brow, and a small personal fortune, was very, very funny. Even though it doesn't make sense later on with who his dad turned out to be.
It was nice to see somebody.
Joke of the week. I loved it.
It was nice to see somebody sum up white privilege in one sentence on a sitcom from 1985.
Yeah, it was great.
Like
I really believe that Heidi Perlman knew exactly what she was doing there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knew so many guys, just like Frasier, who's like, "This is all I come from."
Oh, Mike, I think you're on a delay.
I think I might be. Am I back?
You're mostly back.
Hello?
Mostly.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn it. God damn it.
We can hear you.
All right. Yeah, but I feel like Heidi Perlman understood internet culture before the internet was a thing. No. I mean, just that vibe that I get from everyone I went to high school with of you don't even know how hard it was for me. And you're like, I was there. It wasn't that hard. I was there the whole time. She gets Frasier. Mm-hmm. She gets him well.
Yep.
All right. This is an interesting Sam and Diane season in that it almost feels like they're acknowledging they want to get back together, and they don't ever totally explain why they're not getting back together. Like it starts with Sam saying, I went to Italy to stop your wedding because I thought we were supposed to be together, but I don't think that anymore. And they keep having these moments of, we were great in some moments together. And you're just kind of like, I don't get why you're not actually together now. What's happening? Last season was clear. They were broken up. She was with Frasier. All this is going on. This season, it's almost like, I don't get what's happening. You're back at the bar. You don't have to be at the bar. Like, why'd you even come back to work at the bar?
Yeah,
I love the first episode of this season, but yeah, I feel like it's just a lot of unspoken. I don't get what's happening. Oh, shit. Hang on.
we have mastered this. We're a year and change in. We have just nailed this technically.
But Dave, what was the point you were gonna make?
Oh, I was gonna say two things. Like one, that last scene between Sam and Diane, which should have rocketed the Sam creep quotient wicked high. But I found I was like, there was something, and this has so much to do with how Shelley Long is playing it as well. Like, for me, it read as like, all right, these are two people who are incredibly sexually compatible, and they're like genuinely cherishing the moments that they had together in that sense, and that's I was like, oh, that's their connection. Like, that's where they. That's what they had. I mean, that's where the love kind of manifests itself between them is physically. And of course that can't sustain a long-term relationship, but of course it also feels really sad that that's gone to them. And that's what I kind of got out of that last scene. And I thought that was really the episode, which I thought was going to kind of skate along the surface, took a really interesting dive there because there was a lot of stuff happening in that last 4.5 minutes that could have just stayed kind of skating along that surface. And actually, those two actors found a lot of nuance and color in it.
Yeah, made you appreciate Sam and Shelley Long and Ted Danson quite a bit. They make some things work that should be more uncomfortable than they are. It is nice to see. I like the actress who played Beth this week too. I should have looked up her name.
Oh, it's I can tell you, it is. Her name is Amanda Wyss.
She's good, and she comes back later.
Yes,
when she gets married.
That's right. That's right.
Spoiler. I mean, it's been out how many years, but
30 plus.
Damn it.
30 plus. And also, you're seeing Woody's got a type. Tiny blondes. That's Woody's. That's where Woody shops.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm
you guys
excited
aren't
for
on.
the Kelly.
You
For the
guys aren't
Kelly
on
episode.
TikTok, but there was recently some drama.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, where a woketivist was recently
Mhm.
exposed as a philanderer, and he definitely has a type
Oh,
akin to Woody's.
ah,
Yeah, and the term womblands became a meme. Yeah, that's the appropriate face, Mike. Yeah, stay off
I got
TikTok.
nothing. Yeah, not even going on.
Done, Ed, done.
Not even going on. That was a good cold open to Saturday Night Live this week. By the way, this week's Saturday Night Live was a classic all-time episode of Saturday Night Live. One of the best I've seen in years. It's a strong season this season. Yeah, everybody needs to catch up on Saturday Night Live. Now that they're not bringing in celebrities to do impressions, like the cast is getting a chance to stretch. I think they have some excellent writers in the writers' room. There were some sketches this week. It was Zoe Kravitz hosted. She killed it.
Awesome.
I heard good
Killed
things.
it.
I
Yeah.
got to go back and watch now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Great episode this week.
There's
right,
a Rhode Island, a former Providence resident just got hired as a writer.
Ooh.
Billy Domino.
Hey, congratulations, Billy.
Doing he's getting stuff on there, and he's doing amazing. So we're all fired up for Billy.
Oh, good for him. Oh, I hope he wrote one of the things I really liked. Yeah, the Amazon sketch this week and the Maid of Honor sketch were unbelievable this week. The whole episode was really good. Those were two I've watched a few times since it aired.
Okay.
Yeah. Really great.
I've been deeply analyzing Mulaney's monologue from 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
I've been breaking it down, like really trying to get to the nugget of the structure of it. Because he took...
What have you learned?
Well, just how he maneuvered really difficult subject matter and made it palatable to a nationwide audience.
Yeah. Yep. I'm seeing him on Saturday, and I'm excited.
Hey.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Wait, where?
I'm looking forward to it. Foxwoods.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Not so bad.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right, should we do some categories here?
Sure.
I did my joke of the week, the small personal fortune. Tookie, what is your joke of the week?
Joke of the week. Back home back home the Twirly brothers were my closest friends. Woody, the Twirly brothers made advances at me as soon as you left town. Hey, you guys are my closest friends.
That was such a good joke.
Yeah.
That was such a great A to C joke. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yep, delivery was great. Even when you could see it coming. I enjoy it. Dave, your joke of the week.
All right. First of all, honorable mention to Al Rosen. Because I can't give him the joke of the week, but it's amazing. Get out of here. Are you challenging my facts? No, I'm telling you to get out of here. Just perfect. I'll give joke of the week though to Woody though. He was talking to Beth and saying, I've been thinking about what the janitor at Cheers said about sublimation.
Wonderful.
Just delivered perfectly. So just a wonderful succinct sum up of the whole episode so far.
Lovely. Tookie, how white was this week's episode?
Oh, okay. Not that white, but mostly because they reused a lot of actors. A lot of actors made repeats in the background.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Okay, so in the opening, we had a black couple that was at the back wall, a black couple sitting and getting up from the bar, and who I presume to be Latino man by the on the payphones. First scene, 2 black women sitting in the booth by the door next to Kamsa, a black man from earlier wandering around the bar, a reused extra. There was an Asian woman and a possibly Middle Eastern man. I couldn't quite peg his ethnicity. They were sitting to Sam's right on the bar. A black man at the back bar by the phones, and another further down in the hallway of the payphones. Scene 2, there was a Latin man by the piano who moves to the phones, a black couple at the back of the bar, and then a black man sitting by the jukebox. And those three reappear in the third scene in the restaurant as they walk in through the entrance of the restaurant. Yeah.
Didn't catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. So total, we have 16. I can't quite recount it as 19 because 3 reappear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible in this universe that Woody just invited everybody at the bar to go with them, and those 3 just said, "Okay"?
I would love that if that were true.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try that place.
But if you don't mind, I'm going to sit someplace else and order something that's not celery.
Yeah.
All right. Your 80s thing of the week. My 80s thing is what I mentioned earlier, that Woody has to just be painfully shy and couldn't possibly simply not be interested in women. That's not even a consideration, even for Diane. Nope. He's just shy. Only explanation. Dave, your 80s thing of the week.
Oh man, I gotta go with Diane's hair. Like this was a big hair shift for Shelley Long, and this is a hair, like I don't. It's like art. I don't know, or pornography. Like I don't know what it is until I see it, But I look at that hair and I don't know how to describe it exactly. But I say that is 1980s, and it's not wrong. It's not bad, but it is of a time, and it's different than the Diane's hair that we have seen for seasons 1 through 3. And it could not speak to me more clearly like that. This is mid 80s.
Yeah, shoulder length, tees to the top, bangs in the front, wider than it is long.
Does it have a name?
Ozone.
Yeah.
Does that hairstyle have a name? Does it have
ozone killer? A lot of CFCs.
Yeah. Nothing I know. Viewers, let us know what that hairstyle is called. All right. Tookie, your 80s moments of the week.
Mustache guy reappears.
Yes.
He's just a staple of the bar. He's just in there. He's got the John Oates push broom, and he just saunters in. A reference to AT&T's stock. I was like, huh. $500 being an exorbitant bar tab, but also Sam keeping a ledger for a bar tab.
Yep.
Diane saying, Frasier, you're getting dust all over my Joan and Davids. What the hell are some Joan and Davids?
I forgot to look that up. You're right.
Yeah.
I'll check it.
And Cliff noting that Boston's population is between 2 and 3/4 million, which it is higher than that now.
Yay, Boston. Making the babies. Very strong. Very strong. And the Sam creepy quotient.
It's weird. It's weird this week.
I don't know. I'm thinking a strong 7. Strong 7.
Yeah, I guess I look at it, and the only thing that struck me as real creepy, just because he and Diane were clearly flirting with each other, so that whole scene didn't strike me as especially creepy. Also, honorable mention to, I was going to do something more fun. I was going to shave my head with a cheese grater while chewing on tinfoil. That was also strong contention for joke of the week. I thought the only real super creepy Sam moment was where he's kind of flirted with Beth a little bit when she came in, talking about you. So yeah, that to me, that was the only thing that made me go, "What are you doing there?" Like, I know it's deniable flirtation, but we all know what you were doing.
Yeah, it's almost like he can't help himself, and I love how Diane recognizes it and shuts it down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was a weird moment. So I think I've got Sam somewhere around a 6.
Yeah, I think 7. There is a great moment where he asks Diane, as Diane is trying to figure out, like, can we maybe take Woody and this girl out on like a double date? And Sam turns it into something creepy and says, "Are you suggesting a foursome?" Which seemed awfully like graphic for the 80s. But then he does this funny face afterwards and like kind of undercuts it. And I was like, I felt manipulated. So maybe that makes him more like an 8 for me, because he was taking me along on his weird psychological journey.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that moment. I think I might be at an 8.
Okay, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I loved the face, but it like all of a sudden I was like, oh god, now this person has a lot of issues.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts before we put this one in the books?
Other 80s moment, Woody's pillow belly.
Right?
Yeah.
It just, attitudes towards weight and weight inclusivity and being like, oh, you're bigger because this.
Yeah.
You gained weight because XYZ.
That's just the thing we're all talking about.
Yeah, choices were made in that regard. And so that aspect of it, I feel, doesn't necessarily hold up in today's climate where body inclusivity is more the norm. And not so much body positivity, but body neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. None of your business.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Do we have anything to plug this week?
I'll be at the Empire Review this Saturday at AS220 downtown Providence. You can find tickets wherever you choose to look for Empire Review.
Look for it. Tookie.
Thursday, I will be at the Rockwell for the Wicked Women of Comedy. Yeah, not your
sounds
average.
Exciting.
Yeah, not your average St. Patrick's Day show. Be fun.
Very nice. I'm going to be doing a quick spot at King's in Boston on Sunday, so check that out. You can go to probably just go to the King's website and get the tickets. I think it's at 7:30. I should know stuff better, and this is why no one wants to hire me. Okay, but that's where I'm going to be on Sunday, so come check that out. It'll be a grand old time. All right, we're putting you in the books, season 4, episode 2. Next week, we will have a weird episode, as I recall, where there's just an actor who had to get cast as an unattractive man, which always makes me feel a little bit weird for the actors who get called in for that part. Where it's all like, it's a guy, you're in almost the whole episode, pal. Almost the whole thing, wall to wall. You get as many lines as Ted Danson, buddy. What's the part? Okay, here's the thing. You're ugly. You're an ugly guy that Diane doesn't want to date. It's an episode. It's a trip.
All right. We're just hitting all the societal pressure points right at the top of the season.
Brace yourself.
Brace
yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So everyone, emotionally prepare yourself. I'm Mike. That's Dave. That's Tookie. Dave, have a lovely birthday. Treat yourself. Celebrate. Enjoy. Get yourself an ashtray. Everyone stay safe. Bye, everybody.